Hi, today I'm going to be talking about Zoom security as a use case. So you would have seen all the press back in 2019 around Zoom security. They got a lot of press around that. Some of that was warranted, and they put a lot of effort into fixing that. But also a lot of it was around people not understanding the configuration options within Zoom and how you can configure Zoom to ensure that your meetings are secure. So I'm going to actually concentrate on that side of things at the moment. And the base use case that I'm going to be looking at is Tony is the Chief Information Security Officer. He's knows all about all the press about around Zoom and the security concerns with Zoom, and he's set up some company policies and guidelines on best on how to ensure that Zoom is being used securely. And so it's around the configuration of your Zoom meetings and the security around that. And you can see here all the different options that we have. That there's a lot of information about how secure your Zoom meetings are. But I'm going to concentrate on the actual configuration options for your Zoom meetings. So there's a few different options here that Zoom recommends that you have. So we've got the authentication required, so that means that only people who are authenticated users within your Zoom environment can join the meeting, which is good for internal people, but not good for external people. You have waiting room. So if your waiting room is enabled, then everybody who joins the meeting goes into a waiting room until the host lets them in. And passcode. So this is the one on the right here. So that's ensuring that all meetings have a passcode. So you need to enter the passcode before you can join the meeting. And the fourth one down here is join before host. So you may not want to allow people to join the meeting before the host. That's particularly important in an education setting, but there may be instances where that's a good thing to do in a corporate setting as well. And so Zoom recommends that these three options here, so the authentication required, the waiting room, and the passcode, or at least one of those is enabled to ensure that you have a secure meeting. So this tile here tells us how many insecure meetings have been held in the last little while. So that's all the meetings that have none of these three options enabled. So if I'm, as the security person looking at this, I'm going to be very concerned about that, because you would expect that would normally be 0 or very close to 0, and then I'd want to drill down into that and find out why those meetings are not secure, and I might want to enforce some of these settings to be enforced throughout Zooms to avoid that situation coming about.